Hello, Leo. Thank you for tuning into your love read. I think that's angled correctly. For the main part of the reading, I'm going to use the Telema Tarot. I believe it said Telema. I said Thelma before, but I think it's supposed to be said Telema. One of my viewers sent me the pronunciation. Just in case you want the deck, here's what it looks like. It's how it's spelled by Renata Lechner. And for the supportive oracle cards, the Magical Spell Oracle cards by Lucy Cavendish. Alright. Six for you, six for the other person. Let's see what we got. You get the Ten of Pentacles here, which makes me feel like the situation as a whole should be quite stable. Let's, okay. Alright. Well, that's the that is the challenge card, so that makes sense. Makes a sense? Okay, makes sense. Let me just move a little bit here. Your partner has a challenge card, and it's not funny, but I think it's because, I don't know, that one card. I just think it's the ugliest card in the deck. I hate this card. I can't help it. I just hate the look on this guy's face. It's the Devil card. I don't know why. I mean, there's Devil cards in all the tarot decks, but this deck, I don't know why. I hate this card so much. I just do. I'm just like, Lord, you're back again. Go away. I just want to take him out of the deck and just throw it away. I really don't like this card. I don't know why I'm so adverse to it. Because I feel like he's very sneaky. And when I look at this one, the version here looks very sneaky, very conniving, and very alluring, very charismatic, sucks people in, and before they know it, they've just, done themselves good. Now, I feel like, especially in this situation, because I'm getting right on top of it is the Beauty card. And I'm getting there's an issue here with something about self-esteem. And I feel like there might be overcompensating. And I feel like that's the challenge here. To see it before it becomes a problem. And it might be more up to you than them. Because, well, quite frankly, the reading is directed towards you. You might be able to... I just feel like if you see it before it really becomes a problem, it's all about how you react to it. Because I'm getting your partner has the Ten of Wands and fertility in their spiritual spot, and it makes me feel like what's going on here is that they're trying to make something happen. They're trying to put forth a lot of effort to bring forth the situation. And it's becoming a very challenging and very difficult. And I'm getting there's like a problem here. There's like a lack of confidence that might be overcompensated for. How do I explain this so it makes sense? Because I'm getting like, for example, if it was a guy feeling inadequate, they might have that overly macho attitude. Or if it was a female, if we're going to go stereotypical, which apparently I am, if we're going to have a female who usually is very beautiful, but is maybe feeling like she's not her best at the moment, but she's pushing forth about, how beautiful this is that she has and how beautiful that. It's like whatever way this is going, and I know there's a million other ways, but the person I'm feeling here is feeling like they're lacking and having like a self-worth issue, and they're pushing forward this over-dramatized version of themselves just to almost prove that they're good enough, but they're not even trying to prove it to you in truth. They're trying to prove it to themselves. And it's like that Devil card. And I feel like that's one of the reasons I really don't like him in this reading especially, is because I feel like that's such a deep issue that I don't feel like I don't feel like you could solve this in a conversation. I don't feel like you could bring this forward in a conversation. I feel like it's more about you realizing what's happening, and just the way you react to it could make things better. But it's going to be over time, and they're going to have to deal with it on their own. Because I don't feel like it's even on the surface level that they do it. I feel like it's something you can see on the outside more than they can connect with on the inside, if that makes sense. Like, you can see that they're overcompensating, but to them, they might fight that tooth and nail. Like, that's not the truth. I am blah, blah, blah. Like, I feel like there's a problem here. And I'm thinking, for a lot of you, this is not the first time you've seen this situation pull forward this way. But it's definitely, it's connected to self-worth and having a lot of difficulty bringing something forward that they want. And they're overcompensating, and they feel like they're doing themselves over without realizing it. And I'm getting that there's something they're holding themselves. When I get the Four of Pentacles for your partner where they're standing, they're holding some... I don't really know if I really want to call it a secret, because I don't feel like they're sharing it with anybody else. But they're like holding something to themselves about how they feel. They're upset that this is so difficult. They're feeling like that self-worth problem. Like, I feel like they should be realizing the self-worth, but the pattern, realizing the pattern, that I feel like they're oblivious to. Like, they might be realizing, like, oh, they might be having these sad feelings, like, oh, maybe I'm just not good enough to make X, Y, Z happen. But not really connected with how they're bolstering forward or pushing forward this false front and, like, being over dramatic about it as a way to cope with it or compensate. Like, I don't feel like they're aware of their coping mechanism and what they're doing. They may be aware very well, though, that they're feeling inadequate, if that makes sense. Because I don't feel like they're on point with both things. I feel like they might be feeling it but not realizing what they're doing and how this is pushing forward. Because I'm seeing with you here with the Three of Swords, I'm getting you're seeing it. I feel like you're seeing it. And I feel like you're I feel like you're kind of walking on eggshells here. Because I'm looking at this, like, from your side, like, you see them going through this. You see them having this issue with this. You know what they're doing. Like, I feel like you're seeing it. Like, they're feeling lacking here. They're having self-worth issues here. And they're doing this behavior because of it. And I feel like to you it makes sense. You're seeing, like, why they're doing it. But to them it just does not connect. It's not a connect for them. I feel like whatever they're doing, they're like, no. Like, I just feel like they would just fight that tooth and nail. And for that reason, you have the Queen of Swords where you're standing. You're very careful about what you're saying here. You don't... Like, you're not into devastating your partner or creating more heartache for your partner. Almost like you're looking at your partner like they're overtaxed as it is. And they've kind of handled as much as they can handle. So I'm getting the Queen of Swords for you. Is like you're using your intellect to try to handle the situation in a caring way, as caring as you can without making it worse. Although I do feel like it's a challenge. I feel like you're having a very hard time with this. Because one of the ways you're doing this is by swallowing what you feel. And swallowing what you think. I feel like you're holding back very strong. Strong feelings of holding back. And feeling kind of cooped up and caged with your own emotions. And I'm getting this High Priestess with the courage. Like, you're kind of holding to yourself about how you're feeling. But the High Priestess is telling me the reason you're doing this is because you feel like that's the best balance here. Because you feel like if you push forward, you're going to upset the other side. And it's not going to make things better. It could make things a lot worse, though. So your challenge card is to not feel this. The Five of Cups, feeling like there's loss or like there's a disconnect. Because I feel like you feel... Yep. I'm looking at this as if you're looking at the situation... I'm still duplicating words. And you're not able to effectively make a difference here. I'm getting that's what the Five of Cups is, your challenge card. Because you're feeling a lot of responsibility to help your partner, but you can't seem to do anything. And it's not your fault. Like, the situation is complicated, deep, and way beyond your knowledge of your partner. Like, it's deep there. And And another thing that's also weighing on you is your partner does love you immensely. Your partner's doing some things. See, I feel like that's another factor here, because you're seeing this overcompensation, but they're not using it against you. You're seeing them use it against other people. And that's another factor here, because you don't want to be another hurdle for them to have to deal with. And that's another challenge, because you don't want them to feel like you're against them or anything like that, because you're definitely not. But you're realizing in the state of mind they're in, if you do call them out on this, they're going to make it, they're going to make it out to be like you're against them too. It's going to seem to just whip around, and it's just going to be worse. But especially when you see how much they love you, like they do love you immensely, and you don't question that. I don't feel like you're questioning that in the least. Now, as this goes forward, see, I'm wondering how this is happening, because I'm getting, there's some type of shock on your partner's side. What makes things better is the Tower on your partner's side. And I'm just feeling like hopefully that this was just a moment where they were overcompensating. But I'm getting like there's some type of shock here. The Tower, even though it can work out very well, still is a shock nonetheless. And I'm trying to see where is this going, because they have all... When it comes to you, they have all good cards, but something else is shock. Like somebody else might be calling them out. Somebody else is calling them out. You don't even have to do it. And I feel like I feel like you're like, oh boy. I feel like you're seeing this and you're just like, okay. Like I feel like you're kind of like, oh, I know that's happening, but, and I feel like you're like, oh boy. I feel like you're like, here we go. I hate when they duplicate words. I'm kind of, it feels like you're just, it's really one of those awkward moments where you want to help your partner, you want to defend them. That's not a problem, but you don't want to defend them to their own detriment. You don't want to defend them and then just make things worse for them in the long run. I feel like this is complicated. This Tower is complicated. I'm getting, you're seeing this, whatever, well, I don't know if you're flat out seeing it or you're hearing about it secondhand, but you're knowing it's happening. Somebody else is calling out your partner. And I feel like you're trying to do your best to stay out of it without seeming like you're leaving your partner in the lurch. I'm getting you're kind of playing one of those moments where you're like, what do you want me to do type thing? Like, not in like, what do you want me to do? Like, but like you're asking them like, what would help this situation? What could I do to make this better? And I feel like they're like, oh, just stay out of it. Or just, it's fine, I'll handle it. And you're like, okay. Only because you're like, you don't want to make it worse, and I don't feel like you really want to handle this whole Tower thing. I don't feel like you want to. It's not like you're afraid to. It's just kind of like, I don't really want to make this worse. And it just seems like it's one of those situations that could easily get worse. Alright, so somebody else is calling them out. Okay. And I'm getting, you're the Emperor over here. You're just kind of sitting there looking at the whole picture, and you're trying to really look out for your partner, but in like the long term, the whole picture type of way. It's not just about this one situation where they're getting called out. It's like, how does the whole thing work out for them and for you, of course, but still. I'm getting you're just kind of sitting still and just waiting to see how things fall. You're just very smart about it. You're just kind of like sitting there waiting it out, paying attention, but you're very calculated about what you're going to do if you're going to do anything. But for the whole purpose of like, you want the situation to get better, not to get worse, and you're just, I feel like you're looking at it from this point of view, like, this could go on a lot longer, it'd be a lot worse, and you're like, I have other things I can distract myself with, there's other things I can do, I'm just going to leave this situation to itself for right now, hoping for the best. And I'm getting that as you're doing that, your partner seems to be flourishing, because I'm getting the Knight of Pentacles. Whoever called them out, I don't feel like they were cruel or rotten about it, but I do feel like your partner worked it out with that person, and I feel like it's squelching that drama a bit. It's calming things down. It's bringing it back down to a sane level. And I'm getting like, I'm getting like whoever this person was that like called it out for what it was. I'm getting like you and them and your partner, everybody seems to be getting along quite well after the fact. Because I got the 10 of Cups on your partner's side, the 3 of Cups on your side. These things make things better. Because I'm getting that might be a factor. It depends on how this is for you. But the person who calls your partner out, it might be somebody you like anyway. That might be another reason why you're pulling back or just letting it be. I do see that working out, though. And I'm feeling like you're very comfortable with how this all worked out. You didn't really want to make it worse. You weren't really feeling how you could make it better because you were just like, this is a situation. Because I'm getting you feel a lot better. Your partner feels a lot better. The other person, like, I'm getting it worked out a lot better this way. And I think that's the whole thing with this whole reading, because I do feel like there's a lot of stress on you to like not make it worse, because I feel like that's where you're standing. You're standing in this spot like, I just don't want to make it worse. I don't want to leave my partner in the lurch. There's a lot of love there, but I feel like you're just worried that things, especially when you're looking at what your partner's doing in this over dramatization, you're worried that this can damage other relationships. And that moment happens with this Tower card, and you're just like, oh, I'm just going to sit here and see how it works out first before I do anything. And it just kind of works itself out, and you're just like, thank you. Thank you. Because it works out well. I feel like that might be the whole question for you, though. That might be what the whole purpose of this reading is. Holding to the side and just letting it pan out on its own, play out on its own. That's a better word. And you might be questioning, like, is that a good idea? It looks like it is. It really does look like it is. Anything else? All right. So that's Leo relationship. Let's do Leo single. Messages for single Leos. Empowered messages that help them move forward the way they want to. Knight of Pentacles flew right out. That's good. It's enjoying things. Single Leos. Messages for single Leos. Empowering information to help them move forward the way they want to. See the truth about what's happening. And have that enlightened perspective that they need to help them move forward in a happy and empowering way. That was the 2 of something. 2 of Wands, I think. Just tried to jump out. Oh, there's the 3 of Wands. What's going on right here? You got the 5 of Pentacles at the bottom, which makes me feel like... I feel like you're going to end up not getting what you really want. I hate to be... wet blanket on the whole reading, but that's my first impression. Now, the success card is at the bottom, so I do feel like the situation is working out for the best for both people. This person, somebody's around you. And I feel like they're just... I'm getting like the World and the Friendship card. You might have ideas that you want them to be more in your life, but I'm getting that the World with the Friendship is telling me that they're defining this as a friendship and nothing more. And I feel like that's changing the dynamic here for you. If you've been close to this person up to this point, I feel like once they nail it in as a friendship, it might move things on. And not in a way of hard feelings, just like I feel like you might have to distance yourself because your heart wants to be with them, and it's hard for you to be friends, so there might be some distance that just naturally occurs that kind of ends up in a detachment type of way. Not with hard feelings, though. Because in your thoughts, I've got the Queen of Pentacles. I'm getting you've had feelings for this person. It's been there for a while. I'm getting in the past, you have the 8 of Swords. You wanted to be closer to this person, but you didn't feel like it was in your realm to do so, for whatever reason. And I'm getting here in the future, like you got the Three of Wands and the Queen of Wands. You're looking for that way to get over to that boat. You're looking for the way to make it happen. You're feeling like it's time to move forward. You're seeing your opportunity. And you got the Queen of Wands as your ambition to actually put forth how you feel. It's kind of one of those now or never feelings. So I feel like you're working your way slowly towards this person. And I feel like the closer you try to get, like, I don't feel like you're pushing forward, like, let's go out. I feel like you're just trying to get closer. You're trying to find the right moment to say something, to get the message across that you want to do more. Because your overall energy is the Eight of Pentacles. You've been working at this for so long. I feel like you know this person well enough that you're realizing you have to do it the right way for them to be open to it. And I feel like it's been so long, like you're realizing this can't be a whimsical thing. You have to think about how this is going to work out. Because I feel like there might be something where you're planning a date or planning a moment, and it just seems like I feel like you're going about it like a friendship thing, but when you're hanging out, you're gonna like kind of push forward, like, you know what, we could start dating or something. Like, I'm interested in seeing you a little bit more exclusively, just you and me, and just like maybe seeing if there's a romantic connection with us. Because I feel like you're kind of planning it very smart, because you're thinking, you know, with this person, I gotta be careful. There's only certain things they're gonna accept, and I gotta do it the right way. And I'm getting, as the future comes forward, like you're still waiting, because you're trying to find the right moment, and it's just not seeming to settle in correctly. I'm seeing that you're still waiting with the Seven of Pentacles. I feel like you're still waiting for that right moment to say something. And the Ten of Swords here at the bottom is like, I feel like you're getting really... You're starting to feel like this isn't going to work. And I'm getting this pressure coming on you. And one of those things is, again, for the Five of Pentacles here, I'm getting that you felt lack with this person in the past before. It's kind of like a lack situation. You want more, you can't seem to get. And I'm getting is you're not finding this right moment to push it forward, that you'd like this to become more. The pressure is building, kind of like a steam cooker. Like it's gonna blow or explode here, because you can't move it forward, and you're really getting upset about that. You're feeling like your chance is slipping by you. Because I'm getting the Ten of Swords with the Ten of Wands. You're standing with the Ten of Wands. You're feeling the Ten of Swords. You're feeling devastated, and you're very stressed about it. Very stressed, because you're feeling like, I'm going to miss my chance, and this is what I really want. I'm going to miss it. You're getting. I feel like there's a lot of upset energy here. Like you're getting very devastated, like it's moving on. I'm not going to ever have a chance. If I don't do this now, it's never going to happen. So I do feel like you come forward with your intentions towards this person. Now, I do feel like this happens. You got the Tower card with the Knight of Swords. I just don't feel it going your way. I'm getting the confidence here with it too. The confidence card here is saying you can put this forward. It needs to come forward, but like it has nothing to do with the quality of who you are. It's just the match isn't there for the other person. They want to keep this as a friendship, and that's what they're going to do. But I'm getting like, they're just like, have the confidence to go forward with it, because this does bring this situation to a close and allows you to move on to find what you really want. I'm getting that's what the kind of the confidence is here, is saying, yeah, you should bring this forward. But I'm getting the Tower card. I don't feel like you can escape the Tower card, I have to be honest with you. But I'm getting here, back in the past, when you have the Seven of Pentacles, like, you could do this sooner. Because I feel like you're kind of waiting it out, trying to find the right moment. Like, you could bring this forward sooner if you want. I just feel like it's going to happen either way. Because it seems like you've been waiting. You didn't feel like your chance was there in the past. You're seeing, like, currently it feels like you're seeing your opportunity, or you're like, I have to get out there and tell this person how I feel. I have to let them know. And you're making that decision to push your emotions forward and let the other person know. and then just constantly kind of waiting it out, trying to find the right moment, you could bring it in at that point. Like, I feel like you're waiting for the right moment. Moments seem to come and go pretty quickly. And I'm getting here thinking the other person's on defense, then they won't receive it well. But either way, when you finally do move it forward, I feel like you're still going to have the same outcome. Because I feel like the other person is not expecting you to come forward with this. I feel like that's part of the Tower's energy. They're not expecting that energy. They're not expecting you to stay that. They seem blindsided, but I do feel like I feel like they turn you down, but they make it clear they don't want to string you along. So they're just very honest and forward, like, I don't want to do this. I like you as a friend, and I just feel like this is where this is always going to stay. Like, they don't want to string you on. So I feel like they're being very string you along. So they are, and I feel like the confidence is also coming from them. They feel like this is the right thing to do, to tell you exactly how they feel and why. Because they don't want to drag you through the mud. They don't want to give you hope when there really isn't any. They're not trying to be mean. They're just trying to be honest, and that's why that's happening that way. Is there anything else here? I feel like we got to it. I think it's just when I always like try to look at these as if I was the one that was hearing this message. So I try to be, accommodating to that. The way this ends off, I'm just like, that doesn't seem like the best moment. But I'm getting like, it's important that you do go forward with your proposal, because it brings you closure and you get to move forward towards something that's better for you, that's more of a match. Okay. All right. I'm going to let that go there. Thank you for watching. Of course, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.